PGA Tour 96. I know what you're probably thinking. This has got to be a cry for help.
You're playing golf and you're going to like it.
Anyway, let's move on. So I just finished reviewing Mortal Kombat 3, which is the game your older brother was playing around the release of the PlayStation. So let's talk about the game that your dad was probably playing. But you know I've got to throw in a little history first.
You'd be interested in knowing that this uniform was given to me by the captain of the Links of St. Andrews, Scotland. They invented the game there, you know, except they call it golf.
Golf games are like bass fishing games. There's too fucking many of them.
Small to get your foot out the boat.
The oldest golf game in my collection is Golf on the Atari 2600, released in 1980. And you know, it looks like shit. But judging Atari games based solely on their graphics is like judging Swiss cheese for having holes. I mean, this is bare minimum golf. And don't even get me started on miniature golf for Atari from '79. Okay, I guess this is the oldest golf game I own.
Right, you must have been something before electricity, huh?
I will at least give golf credit for the swinging mechanism, where holding the action button controls how hard you hit the square ball, and your position relative to the ball will result in different hit strategies. The only thing missing is different clubs. It's still awful, though. So a few years go by and we have our next popular golf title, also just called Golf, but this time it's on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and we play as Mario. But instead of saving the princess, he's been eating all the cannolis, if you know what I mean.
Oh! You're no gentleman!
I'm no doorknob either, alright?
Golf on the Nintendo Entertainment System saw major improvements made in every conceivable way. I mean, our player actually looks like they're playing golf instead of dragging their on the ground.
This is my guest, Mr. Wang. No offense.
We can also get a much more appealing view of the course, better shot coverage, and we can even choose different clubs.
Spaulding, this calls for the old Billy Baroo.
But we aren't talking about a simple game of golf. We're discussing something much more complex today. PGA Tour Golf made its debut on the MS-DOS in 1990, and then the Sega Genesis in 1991. Also the Amiga, Macintosh, Super Nintendo, Master System, and Game Gear. Good God, what was this game not on? Electronic Arts championed in the series alongside other sports titles like NBA Live and most famously the John Madden football franchise. What set EA's series apart from your run-of-the-mill golf game was the fact that you could play as actual pros, and the golf courses were based on real locations that included some pretty sophisticated features such as course flyovers and pinpoint accuracy on where your ball lands.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.
I mean, I know it's easy to dismiss these early sports games, but PGA Tour Golf 2 was such a big deal that it dethroned Echo the Dolphin as the best-selling game for the Sega Mega Drive in the United Kingdom in 1992. PGA Tour Golf had 3 installments before making the leap to the Sony PlayStation on September the 23rd, 1995 as EA Sports' first foray onto the console. Yup, I own a copy. There sure are a lot of advertisements for Madden 96, by the way. Boy, I'll bet people were excited for that game to never come out on PlayStation.
You'll get nothing like it.
I do like the little book of upcoming releases that was included. I see some potential future game reviews in this catalog. Anyway, let's jump right in. Oof, the title screen looks like it belongs on an old PC game as opposed to a PlayStation game, doesn't it? It just looks like a big-ass postcard from the most pixelated golf course on the planet. Don't even get me started on the music. It's so f***ing boring that it makes elevator music sound like Journey.
The man's a menace. Cut that off!
Fair warning, if you are serious about playing this one, caffeinate. Anyway, there are 2 halves which make PGA Tour 96 whole. Half 1 is the menu screen. I am not joking, by the way. I have never had so many problems trying to figure out the controls to the main menu of a game in as long as I can remember. So in most PlayStation games, the way you select options is either X, and in some cases it's circle. PGA Tour 96 says f that. Sometimes it's square, and other times it's circle. Yeah, you heard that right. So here we are at the main menu. Let's select golfers by pressing square. Now we can see that Gallagher is already on our list. So we'll want to remove him, right? Oh look, there's a clear button. Let's press square on that. Huh. Nothing happens because his name isn't selected. Okay, well, let's go to the pros since there aren't any instructions on the menu screen. Maybe if we pick a pro, Gallagher will disappear. Okay, so on my right, there is a list of pros. I can only select profile, so I'll hit square on that and nothing happens. Okay, finally something's happening. Okay, Billy Andrade's profile comes up, but how do I select a different golfer? Oh, there's a video? Well, let's check that out. Okay, it shows him making a really easy shot on the green. Probably not the clip I would have picked to show everyone how awesome I am. Okay, there's a next pro and prior pro, so at least I can scroll through their profiles. Oh look, there's our boy Gallagher. So how do I get out of this? Oh, the f***ing select button? Okay, now I'm getting annoyed. How do I select another golfer? Oh! Not square, but circle this time? Why can't I scroll through the list and pick anyone other than Andrade? Why is Gallagher still on the list with Andrade? I don't want to play as two golfers. Oh, I have to scroll up with triangle to clear the other golfer off the list. So as you can clearly see, the menu is a goddamn mess. Would it have killed them to have a legend at the bottom of the screen that tells you what buttons you need to press to start the friggin' game? Or better yet, just simplify the process by making selections a single button process like just about any other game. PGA Tour 96 is 1 to 4 players, but thankfully, if you have 4 of your friends' dads over, you don't need to buy 4 controllers and a multi-tap. You can just pass the player 1 controller around. There is also a create a player option which doesn't give you much room for a name and only a few different pre-made f***ers to choose from. You can also choose your game mode, whether it be practice, tournament, stroke, skins, or shootout. Since this is our first time playing, let's go with practice. Now the PGA Tour games are well known for having about 8 courses each, and that was on the old 16-bit hardware, so I'm excited to see how many courses they offer up in their 32-bit upgrade. First course is the River Highlands. The second course appears to be the Spyglass Hill and the River Highlands again. Okay, and Spyglass. You gotta be squeezing my nuts right now, EA. Only 2 courses? My dinner has more courses than that. 2 courses, fine. Let's get to half 2. The game.
Well, we're waiting.
So, wow. Our golfer is a digitized model of an actual person. The golf course, while also very pixelated, actually looks pretty photorealistic. And the player's animation is smoother than butter, or as my brother Casey would refer to it, hair gel. We start off with our driver, and as soon as we hit square, our power bar shifts through our swing meter. The strategy is to try to press square as close to the top and bottom bands as possible. The game auto-aims for the direction of the hole, but you can change the direction manually if you have a better strategy in mind. The swing meter's top band represents the speed of the swing, and the bottom band represents the direction. Oftentimes, if I'm teeing off, I'll go above the top band to get the most speed, but in consequence of this, the swing meter shoots down toward the bottom band much quicker, and for some reason, there's a slight delay when you press the button to stop the meter. Now, if you don't stop the meter fast enough as it shoots down, you're going to send your ball out of bounds, which results in an extra point penalty, which is super bad news since the other players show no mercy.
4!
Fine shot.
Oh! I should have yelled 2.
I did pretty damn well with the practice run, so I'm going to hit resume and... why the f*** am I back at the main menu? So, apparently practice only allows you to play the first hole. Okay, let's stop messing around and play tournament. With that boost of confidence, I think I can take these pros on. Okay, so now all of a sudden I play like I've never played golf before?
I tell you, I should have stayed home and played with myself.
I also noticed that when I get to the putting green, the swing meter is a little less accurate. At this point, we have to take into account the grid system that's laid out before us. Kind of shows the terrain and all that. And then we should also listen to the announcer's advice. PGA Tour 96 is a simple game which comes down to strategizing your ability to time your swings and to use the best clubs for the given position. For the novice players, like myself, this is mostly automated, but a bit of creativity goes a long way. If you have a couple of friends, whatever, over who want to kill some time, I would actually recommend this game, but for people who aren't fans of sports games, you're probably going to be bored to tears. I also have to take points off for only having 2 friggin' golf courses and a menu selection process that makes me yearn for a root canal. As a video game from this era, I'd give it a solid 6.5, but as a golf game, I'd go high as an 8.0. This is Cody from the Johnson Brothers. Thanks so much for watching another episode, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.
And just where in the hell do you think you're going?
Oh, Tiger Woods. Is that you?
You promised me that when you reviewed your first golf game that you'd have me join. Where was my invite? Did you really think you were going to get away with this? I mean, you had Tony Hawk on Extreme Games and Shaq was on NBA Jam.
Look, Tiger, I'm going to level with you, man. I mean, yeah, I did have Tony Hawk on ESPN Extreme Games, and I did have Shaq on NBA Jam, but the joke was getting old, man. I mean, do I need to repeat this with every sports franchise? I don't personally think so.
This should have been Tiger's time to shine, as well as I do, that this review was missing some expertise from a seasoned veteran. Plus, I'm way cooler than any of the other jerk-offs you've had on your said little puppet
Yeah, sure,
show.
Tiger. You would have been one of the coolest people on my show. Just, I got time for this, man. Just go back to hitting balls or whatever it is you do.
This isn't over, Cody from the Johnson Brothers. You have just made a powerful enemy. You seem to have forgotten how many golf games are on PlayStation, not to mention how many Starmie.
Oh no, I'm hanging up the phone now. Bye, bye. I'm sure nothing's gonna come of that.